Good morning, Folsom Elementary, and welcome to our 2016 Black History Program.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day and thank you for all of the people here today for this special celebration of courage and life. Please continue to be with all of those that have suffered damage from the storm. Thank you again for your grace and mercy each day. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. And now put your hands together as we have a skit performed by our talented theater students.
Jack Roosevelt, who we know as Jackie Robinson, became the first African American to play in Major League Baseball. Robinson broke the color barrier when the Brooklyn Dodgers started him at first base on April 15, 1947.
During this game, the crowd was not happy to see him on the field, but his friend Pee Wee Reese came to his side and encouraged him.
Watch as he recreates the scene. Boo! Boo! Let them do all they want. We're just here to play ball.
Yeah, well, they're just a bunch of crazy people. The Brooklyn Dodgers gave me the number 42 that I got on my back. What more do I gotta prove?
You don't need to prove anything to these people but your skill, man. We've got your back. Thank you, Jackie.
What are you thanking me for?
I got family up there today, and I need them to know I don't believe in racially segregated sports anymore. Hey, tomorrow maybe the whole team will wear jersey number 42 like yours.
Well, why would you do that?
That way we'll have to group all of us, not just you. They won't be able to tell us apart.
Ha ha. Yeah, I get it. Thanks, man.
Over 10 seasons, Robinson played in 6 World Series and contributed to the Dodgers' 1955 World Series championship. He was also selected for 6 All-Star games.
In 2004, the Major League adopted a new annual tradition, Jackie Robinson's Day. On this day, every player on every team wears the number 42.
We are very fortunate today to have some wonderful performers with us. They are the Don Beckley Creole Jazz Quartet. And boys and girls, you are invited to participate along in the program. So let's have a hand for Mr. Don Beckley, Mr. Don Victor, clarinet saxophone, and Mr. Paul Badu on drums. Take it away, girls.
what that song was? You mean you don't know what that song was? That was called The Tiger Rag. Does it remind you of any song you've heard before? Yes. And what would that tell me? What's it remind you of? That's LSU's fight song when they play da 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 da. You ever see an LSU game? Yeah, I know. You got an LSU shirt on. All right. I bet you didn't know that was a really old song. That's The Tiger Rag. I know you guys have been probably looking at jazz, but this was Jelly Roll Morton explained this song one time. You ever heard of that, guys? Jelly Roll Morton? That's okay. He played the piano, and he was one of the first, if not the first, to actually write down jazz arrangements. Jelly Roll recorded music in the 1920s, and some of his recordings are considered 3-minute symphonies. They're so complex. Anyway, Jelly Roll talked about that song, Tiger Rag, as being originally a quadrille. Anybody have an idea what a quadrille might be? A croissant? It's French. Quadrille. Four drills. That's a good guess. Quadrille was a dance that was in French. French people did quadrilles. You ever see, let's see, that would have been in the courts of the king and all. People got together with their stuff on and did the little dances and things, you know what I mean? Those were quadrilles, but the reason they were called quadrilles is because they had 4 parts. And that song had 4 parts. One part was, let's play the first part for me. 3, 4. All right, that's the first part. The second part was, then it went back to the first part, then there was a third part. Went on a little bit, and then there was a fourth part, quad. Right? This is the part that LSU uses for their fight song. Hold that tiger. I wonder why they would use a song that says hold that tiger. LSU? Oh, they're the Tigers, right. Okay, I got it. I'm just trying to see if you guys are awake. All right. So a lot of early jazz songs were actually adapted, some of them were adapted from French quadrilles, which gives you an idea of one of the elements that's part of early jazz. Now, a big part of it came from African rhythms that came by way of the Caribbean. And there's even an instrument up here that is a descendant from an instrument in Africa. There's only one instrument up here among the 4 of us that comes from Africa. Anybody want to guess? Raise your hand there. How about you? The bass? No, it's not the bass. How about in the pink, 04? What I'm holding? And that's called a banjo. Yeah, that's good. That's actually right. The banjo came from Africa. It looked a little different, but it was basically the same thing. This is a modern day banjo. The banjo started being made like this in the Industrial Revolution, like in the late 1800s. They started putting machines would put them together and creating, well, machines would machine the parts, like the screws and the lugs. We call those lugs, and there's little screws on the bottom, and there's the rim of the head that's made of metal. But the old ancestor of this instrument was called a goni. Actually, it was different names depending on which country in Africa that you had it. In Mali, it was called a goni, Ngoni. And it was made of a gourd, like a big melon-looking thing. They would cut it in half, put an animal skin over it, tighten it, put a stick in it, put a bridge on it, just like this bridge to hold the strings, pull the string across like that, tied at the bottom, and instead of tuning keys, they would tune it with a piece of leather. Because as you go up the string, anybody play guitar in here? Okay, well, you know, you guitar players, you know, the higher you go on the string with your finger, the higher you engage the string, the higher the pitch is. So they could tune it with a piece of leather. They would tie the leather around one part of it, and they would tie the leather around a different string, and that's how they would tune it. You had a question for me? Okay. We'll come back, but if y'all have questions, let me know, okay? We'll have a time for questions. I'll tell you what, we'll ask questions towards the end so I can keep going. We're going to play another song that was not from a quadrille, but actually is more like a march. Oh, you know what? The other thing I wanted to tell you guys, you were clapping on 1 and 3, as we say. 1, 2, 3, 4, you were clapping like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is how you'd probably clap at an LSU game. Hold that tiger. You know? But now we're going to clap on 2 and 4. Let's take that same thing, let them clap on 2 and 4 before we go to this next song. Because this is what jazz did. It's called syncopation in its simplest form. Instead of having the accent on the downbeat, it got onto the upbeat. Instead of 1 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was on the upbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try it. Just from hold that tight. 3. See how that feels different? Now stop clapping. You keep playing. Now let's clap on 1 and 3. Feels different, doesn't it? It's more. Let's stop clapping again. Let's clap on 2 and 4. See? 2 and 4 is more uplifting. Makes you want to get up. All right, we're going to do a song now from a guy named, he wrote this back in 1923. At least he recorded it back in 1923. It's called High Society. Has anyone ever heard of Joe King Oliver? 3 people, all the way back there. You heard of him? And what did he play? What instrument? Take a guess. And he had a famous guy that played the same instrument that joined his band. No, he didn't play the tuba. That would have changed history. If he played the tuba, it would have all been different. How about you? He didn't play piano. Oh, no. Hey, before I go any further, I got to tell you, the 5th graders got it right. The 5-year-olds got it right the first answer. So, I'm just letting you know. Play the trumpet. All right, thank you, sir. There's actually a cornet, which is kind of the same thing, but we won't go there. And there was a famous guy that he called. He says, man, I need you to join my band in Chicago because we need a second trumpet player. We need another cornet player. No, it wasn't Duke Ellington. Duke played another instrument. In the blue shirt. Yes. Who? Louis Armstrong. Or Louis, as he said. That's good. Very good. But I'm impressed that you even know the name Duke Ellington. Thank you very much. I'm impressed, yes. This is a song called High Society. It has different parts to it too. In fact, when we play it, see if you can count how many parts you hear. Yeah, that was High Society. So, man, had your hand up quick. How about, let's see, I called on you. How about on this side? You. How many parts was in that song? How many? 7? All right. Anybody else? 8? That's, yeah. 6? Okay, I can understand how you would say those numbers. Some of those parts you counted were part of the same piece, but it's actually kind of like 4 sections to it. So, but that's good. But I'm glad you're listening. That's great. Now, anybody know why I was marching while y'all were playing that? Because you guys were clapping on 1 and 3, and it made it feel like a military march. Yeah, that's military. Can't you see the Marine band playing that? But clap on 2 and 4 and see how it feels different. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See how loose it feels? Like you want to dance? That's what gives jazz the pizzazz, I guess you could call it. Jazz pizzazz. All right. So we're going to move on a little bit. So you guys do know what all these instruments are, right? You know what that is? You know what that is? And this? And this? And that? Okay. Good. I thought you might know. That's good. How about, let's see, we had some improvisation. You know what that is? Did we do any of that yet? Yeah, we did some. We'll show you a little bit what improvisation is. What we've done so far, we've played some songs together. We've improvised on some stuff. We used syncopation on some stuff, right? Let's show them what the improvisation was. Let's just play the last part of High Society. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. This is the melody. Now Tom's going to improvise. Pretty good, huh? See, when you improvise, you still keep the form of the song, but you just sort of make up your own melody. It's kind of like, let's see. Y'all don't play like hopscotch anymore, do you? You've never done that, right? Have you ever done hopscotch? And what did you, when you go outside and you decide you want to play hopscotch, what, do you bring like a marker with you to write on the sidewalk or something? What do you do? You bring some chalk? And if you don't have any chalk, what do? You go buy some? If it's Sunday if the store is closed, you find a rock? You're going to look around and find something, right? You know what that's called? You improvise. You don't have a piece of chalk. So you got to find something right with. You find a rock, you find a brick, you improvise, use something else. Well, that's what we do. We're not using the melody. We improvise. We make up our own melody. So it's kind of like we're composing, a spontaneous composition. That's what that is. Now, okay, so that's blues. We didn't get to blues yet. We're coming to it. Synchronization, syncopation. I was up late. Syncopation, and we had improvisation. Syncopation, improvisation. Y'all know what those two are, right? Okay, now we're going to jump into blues. You know what the blues are? You do? All right. When you have the blues, you feel kind of sad, right? Yeah, but then after you sing the blues, you feel better, right? All right. Does everybody know that? Because you guys not sure. What's that? There's a blues fest. There's blues fest all over the world. I'll tell you one thing about this New Orleans music, because you've been studying this stuff, I hope. Some of this early New Orleans music is, I would say, one of the most popular music styles on the planet. We've been all over the world playing music, and you would not believe, in the middle of nowhere, in Russia somewhere, there's a band playing New Orleans music. We've gone into the Middle East, there's a band playing New Orleans music. We've been in South America, we've been all over Europe, we've been in the Netherlands, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Italy, Japan, Australia. There's bands playing New Orleans music. It's still loved by so many people around the world. because it was the beginning of jazz. It was the beginning of everything you know. And that guy, Jelly Roll Morton, I told you about, did you know he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Yeah, because he had a song called Jungle Blues. You remember that? Yeah, we're gonna play just the front of it to show you what it was. It's let's do it in E flat. Yeah, that's sort of the Jungle Blues that Jelly Roll Morton wrote. But you ever hear Boogie Woogie? Sounds pretty similar, huh? Jelly Roll Morton was doing that in the 1920s. Boogie Woogie didn't show up till what, 10, 15, 20 years later? So he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for a lot of the stuff that he came up with way back when. In fact, let's play a blues tune for him. Let's do a Tin Roof Blues. Tin Roof Blues is a song, and I'm going to put some words to it just to show you how blues can make you feel better. And did you know that people down in New Orleans sang blues in French? Huh? Sounded like Scooby-Doo there, bro. Huh? I'll show you. Here we go. Yesterday, my pretty blue tick dog ran away. I said yesterday, my pretty blue tick dog ran away. I just sat down on my porch. I didn't know what to say. My dog ran away. It made me feel so bad. Yeah, my dog ran away. It made me feel so bad. So bad. I was sitting there looking so sad. Then my cousin came up because his girlfriend left him. He said, jolie fille, pourquoi vous pas bien ici? Jolie fille, pourquoi vous pas bien ici? Vous connaissez, je l'aimais vous. Volez-vous pour moi, chérie? Yeah. See, it don't matter what languages. You can have the blues in any language you speak. But a lot of people in New Orleans spoke French. It's sort of, they called it a Creole French because it evolved with other languages. Because, you know, we had so many people. It's just like, you've heard of the Mardi Gras Indians, right? Well, you know, there's a language that was spoken among Indians who had had met up with escaped African slaves from way back. And they sort of got each other's languages kind of mixed up together. And that's where that song Iko Iko comes from. You've heard that one? You've heard Iko. Iko, 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 ane. Tagamo pino anande. Tagamo pinane. You know that was actually Ako. Ako, Ako, ande. Which means it's a good day to fight. That's what they were singing about. But not fight like, for real. It's like one of those being proud of things. That's another thing. Fighting's not cool. In fact, even the music in Jamaica, that music used to talk about fighting, and people actually used to fight in that music. But now, modern day, they say, why fight? We can just be proud and sing about being strong. And that's, you got to grow up and get over those things. In fact, in jazz, this is Black History Month, and it's something that you guys know, no matter how stupid this sounds, black musicians and white musicians were not allowed to even play together in the 1920s. They couldn't be seen on the same stage. Isn't that stupid? It's very stupid. So a lot of people just ignored it and did it anyway. But you had to be careful because you could get arrested and go to jail. But in New Orleans, people, it's such a mix of people. Like in my family, I have African, I have Irish, I have French, I have American Indian that I know of. Those are the 4 things I know of. And when my family was growing up, I heard about stories where we'd live in a neighborhood, and even in the Depression, when we had segregation, black people were not allowed to have certain things. Like when they were giving away mattresses, I thought this was a really funny story. They gave away mattresses in this neighborhood. And if you were in a black family, you could only have, say, 2 or 3 mattresses. But if you were in a white family, you could have all the mattresses you wanted. So what happened, when people are living in a neighborhood, they don't look at each other's color. And, they're friends. They work together. So what would happen, somebody who was white would come over and say, hey, man, how many mattresses do you need? And they'd go get mattresses for the other families. So it didn't really work. But hopefully we got rid of that. We got rid of that with laws. But, in the future, you guys, you make it happen. Because when people learn to live a certain way, it stays with them a lot of their life, and it's hard to change it. But you guys, you're going to grow up, and you're going to know the new way, that there's only one race, and we're all human. No such thing as, everything else is ethnic, Okay, you might have grown up in Italy, you might have grown up in Africa, you have different languages, different customs. We're still all human. And that's the one thing that jazz actually did for the whole world. It brought people together from everywhere. Everywhere came together. We're going to play another song for you. In fact, you mentioned Duke Ellington, but we'll do something from a guy named Count Basie. You heard of him? All right. He had a guitar player by the name of Freddie Green. And if you noticed, when I was playing the banjo, the rhythm I played was kind of like that. Sometimes I'd go, but basically I was keeping the rhythm. Well, Freddie Green is famous for keeping the rhythm in Count Basie's big band. Let me grab my guitar. Okay, this is called, I don't think it is. No, it's 1 O'Clock Jump, I think. Anyway, we can't remember the name of the song. Let's go, ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. He only played 2 notes. And he had an acoustic guitar. And so it would be really loud. He had the strings really high on the guitar. And he would just... But I've got an amplifier. So I don't have to play so hard. And everybody would improvise on this tune. Go! Even the bass player would improvise. The drummer would improvise. Even though Freddie Green didn't improvise, there were a whole lot of other guitar players that improvised. Everybody ever hear of Wes Montgomery? Wes Montgomery came up with a new way of improvising. He would play octaves on his guitar. In other words, the same note but an octave higher together, like this. Then the band would come back in. It's fun. And you know something else interesting that happened in jazz? I don't think people realize this, but like we only have 4 musicians here. But King Oliver's band had, what, 8 musicians, right? He had 2 trumpets, well, 2 cornets, trombone, clarinet, right? And I think clarinet played double? D double? Not initially. Initially, he just played the clarinet. Then he had the drummer, he had the bass player and banjo player. And piano. So this was in 1923. Now in New Orleans, these guys were playing music. And they were playing, this was the popular music. This was the what's your name? The new person I mentioned earlier? Taylor Swift. This was the Taylor Swift of 1923. You know? And as time went on, got later in the 1920s, the dance halls got bigger because the music was so popular. Just like now, you go to see Taylor Swift, she's in a big stadium, right? Okay. Well, this is the same kind of thing that was happening. Instead of playing in a little club, then they had to get a gym like this. Then the gym wasn't big enough, so they want something twice this size. But to make the band big and loud enough for everyone to hear, they had to add more instruments. So the bands got bigger. They'd have 3 trumpets and add some saxophones and maybe 2 trombones. But then somewhere in the early 30s, someone invented the amplifier. This thing back here. And if I turn it off, you can't hear it. But when they invented the amplifier, like with this microphone, instead of me having to sing like this and sing, let me talk, like that, I could come in here and just say, let me say to you, and I could sing softly, but you could hear me because I had an amplifier. And then the bands got really small. That's where Benny Goodman came out with his quartet, playing things with the vibraphones, and you start hearing guitar solos and stuff because they could. You guys following me? Because we could go back to class real quick. How many of you play music? Wow. That's great. Trumpet players? Clarinet players? Trombone players? Drummers? A lot of drummers. Piano? Yeah, that's great. Did I miss anybody? Saxophones? Violins? Oh, that's great. Guitar? That's fantastic. You know, when I was in school, we didn't have any string programs. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So let's play another song for them. How about a little New Orleans? We're going to do a New Orleans tune for you now because we're going to see if you remember how to clap on 2 and 4. And we're going to see if you remember what syncopation is. And improvisation. Y'all with me? Yeah. I'm going to play it on the guitar. Let's do the chorus. Let's fly down or drive down to New Orleans. That city, so pretty, historic scenes. I'll take you, I'll parade you down Bourbon Street. See all the hot spots, meet all the big shots down on Bourbon Street. Have any of you ever been in a second line? Only 2? Really? Okay, I'll tell you what. This is a march beat. Now this is not really fun to dance to, is it? It's like marching. But give you a chance to get that second line right again, okay? Let me introduce you. Don't move. Wait, we're going to dance some more. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. But while you're standing there, hold on. I want you to give a nice round of applause to Mr. Tom Fisher on the clarinet. And another one to Mr. Carl Budo on the drum. And Mr. Richard Moten on the bass. And we're going to play When the Saints Go Marching In for you. And we want to see you second line. Now, you know, second line is like an improvised march. You remember what improvisation was? You know what it is, right? Okay, so that means none of you will look the same because you're all doing your own thing. And each of you are individuals. So you improvise and do your thing. Here we go. Go marching in. Come on, y'all. Second line. Even if you're standing still, you can second line. Oh man, I really dig your moves, man. You got your hands in your pockets standing there. That's very cool. Oh, when the saints go marching in, when the saints go marching in. You know what? Me and Mr. Tom Fisher gonna be the band leaders. Y'all can follow us. And we just want to say thank you for having us play for you guys this morning. We hope you had a great time.
Wasn't that awesome? Thank you to Mr. Don Bappy and his quartet. Big round of applause. And thank you, boys and girls, for your participation and being respectful and a wonderful audience. Don't we have great kids here? Yes, we do. That concludes our program for today. I'd like to thank the Black History Month Program Committee and the quartet, of course, and everyone that participated in this program. It's been a great morning, and I feel blessed to have done this today. Thank you so much.